Time since 18-year-old Anna Kepner was found dead aboard a Carnival cruise ship, we have official indication that her death may be the result of foul play. Law and Crime has the court document laid out by Kepner's dad's wife that puts in writing that Kepner's death may soon be a criminal case. How this new information came to light and how this bombshell development could impact where the investigation into the varsity cheerleader's death aboard a massive cruise ship goes from here. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Hey guys, before we begin, real quick, need to talk about a big partner of On the Case, which is one of the most watched shows on all of YouTube. It's Morgan & Morgan.
All right, let's get through this. I know you guys don't want to hear this. Okay, here we go.
Horizon. It was for a 6-day cruise with her family. They went from Miami to multiple spots in the Caribbean. But this, though, is video from when the ship returned to port. It's video per WSVN TV reporter Sheldon Fox. It's of Kepner's body being taken off of the ship when it returned to port in Miami. Her body was then taken to the Miami-Dade County Medical Examiner's office for an autopsy. The FBI has been investigating her death ever since. And we do want to note, just because the FBI is investigating a death on a cruise ship, that does not mean that the death is a crime. The Bureau has not officially said anything about whether Kepner has been the victim of something like a murder. And the FBI...
They haven't come out and said it, not the FBI, but it was a murder.
I hasn't said anything beyond just confirming that it is in charge of this investigation. But that's where we get to this court document we have, and there is a lot to unpack here, because for the first time, we have in writing official confirmation that Kepner's death may not have been an accident. Now, the surprising part of this document is that it has nothing to do directly with the death of Kepner. It's related to a separate custody case involving the wife of her dad. Now, both of them, her dad, his wife, Kepner, they were all aboard the ship for this vacation. And we also know that her dad's wife's kids, who are minors, they were with the family as well on this trip. Now, before we get into the details of this court document, I do want to talk about how Kepner's body was reportedly found, because it is very important. Now, the FBI hasn't confirmed this timeline, but the Daily Mail spoke to sources who say that this is how the final days of Kepner's life played out aboard the Carnival Horizon. Now, again, this is a massive cruise ship, 15 decks, can carry about 4,000 passengers. 2 days before her body was taken off of the ship, Kepner was having dinner with her family. It was November 6th. The Daily Mail says that night, November 6th, Kepner told her family that she wasn't feeling well, so she went back to her cabin to call it a night. And that was the last time this 18-year-old varsity cheerleader, who was set to graduate high school in May with plans to join the military, would be seen alive. This, according to the account by the Daily Mail. The next day, November 7th, Kepner's parents reportedly met up for breakfast, but Anna was nowhere to be found. Then, around 11 a.m. that day, Friday, November 7th, a maid entered Anna's room to service it, and the maid is the one who reportedly found Anna's body.
I just want to tell you guys one more time how wonderful of a person this was. She would have done anything for anyone. She helped out at the dance studio. She was so kind to my daughters. My daughters loved her. And this is just horribly sick. It was a close-knit family. She went to a Christian church, a Christian school, and the stepbrother did too. I don't understand how this could happen. Make it make sense, please.
To the Daily Mail, which claims to have spoken to 2 anonymous sources, Kepner's body, quote, was found wrapped in a blanket, covered over with life jackets, and stuffed under a bed. The FBI has not confirmed this or released any information related to how Anna died, but we may now have official indication that her death was no accident. According to another website called Cruise Blog, around the time it's believed Anna's body was found, passengers reported hearing an alert for a medical emergency on Deck 8. A handful of guests were notified that they needed to leave their staterooms earlier than usual on the day the ship returned to port, which was the next day on November 8th. And when the ship returned to Miami, that's when we see Anna's body being taken to the medical examiner's office, where they listed a very interesting piece of information. The medical examiner listed Anna's time of death as 11:17 in the morning on November 7th. Now, that does line up to the time that the Daily Mail reports that maid entered Anna's room, but for such a specific time to be listed, it is unclear why the medical examiner said 11:17 is her time of death. It's also, before we get to this new information, important to point out just how rare it is that someone would die as the result of a violent crime aboard a cruise ship. And we don't have any confirmation yet that that's what we're talking about, but there's a blog that we found called Luxury Travel Diva that says there have only been 15 deaths as the result of a violent crime on cruise ships just since the year 2000. But this case sadly could join that list based on what we're learning in this court document that we found.
This case is also already proven. The mother and father have come out and asked for just some silence. They're grateful for everybody's prayers, but they've been receiving so many messages and they just can't get back to them right now. They're grieving so bad as a family, which any family would, and I understand they want their privacy right now. And this is just the most horrible thing that could happen. We're a small town community. Everybody knows everyone. And this girl, I'm telling you, she would have done great things.
This document is only 3 pages long, but it opens the door to a ton of scary possibilities in this case. The document was filed by Anna's dad's wife. Her name is Chantel Hudson. The document is related to a custody case that she is in involving her, quote, minor children who were on the cruise with Anna. The other person listed in this court case is her ex-husband. Now, this case is out of Brevard County. That is where Anna and her family live in Florida. Now, the document is a, quote, emergency motion for continuance of hearing on petitioner's motion for contempt and enforcement. In plain terms, Hudson has a custody hearing scheduled for December 17th, and she wants to push that back because of what the motion describes as a, quote, extremely sensitive and severe circumstance that has arisen. And Hudson would not be able to testify at the hearing because of it. It reads, quote, and this is important, currently there is an investigation being conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation arising out of the sudden death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who was found deceased on November 9th, 2025 on a Carnival Cruise. Miss Anna Kepner, the deceased, is the daughter of the respondent's paramour, and the respondent and the minor children of this instant action were all on the cruise ship together, end quote. Now, it is important to note that the document lists that she was found deceased on November 9th because the ship returned to port and Kepner's body was taken to the medical examiner's office on November 8th, so that may be a typo. So the document is specifically mentioning Anna Kepner's death, and now here is where we learn it could be a criminal case. Quote, the respondent has been advised through discussions with FBI investigators and her attorneys that a criminal case may be initiated against one of the minor children of this instant action. Now, based on that, it appears one of Anna's step-siblings who was aboard the ship with her could allegedly be involved in her death. The step-sibling is involved in this custody hearing. Chantel Hudson's motion says she wants this December hearing to be pushed back because if she testifies, she could self-incriminate herself. Now, the document finishes by saying that Hudson would like the custody hearing postponed until the, quote, criminal investigation has been concluded, end quote. Without Kepner's cause of death, there is a wide range of possibilities about what a criminal case surrounding how she died looks like. It is believed, according to the Daily Mail, that Hudson has 3 minor children. It's unclear how many of them were on the boat with her, and it is unclear which minor could be allegedly involved in Kepner's death and how old that minor is. Now, this is a picture that we found of Chantel Hudson in a family photo with Anna Kepner. We're blurring the rest of the people in this picture. Now, Chantel has made her Facebook page private, we noticed, since the news of these court documents became public overnight. Prior to that, she had an ABC News article posted to her feed which said that it would be the only interview that her husband, Anna's dad, was going to do. Now, in that article, there is a quote that's attributed to Anna's family that says, when she walked into a room, she would light it up. If you were sad, she'd make you laugh. She would joke around and be the funniest person in her school. But again, we haven't heard much from Anna's family other than that article. A week ago, the Daily Mail spoke to Anna's dad. His name is Chris Kepner, and he told the outlet, quote, "We were there as a family. Everybody was questioned. Everybody came off that ship. I don't know who they're looking at or what their investigation is." Now, if a minor child, one of his wife's children, could allegedly be involved in this, that certainly opens the door. I mean, those questions that are just becoming louder right now about what happened to Anna Kepner in the wake of this document related to the custody case becoming public. Now, when the Daily Mail posted their most recent story, the one about how they say Anna's body was found, they said that Anna's dad did not return their calls for comment. I reached out to Carnival Cruise Lines for a statement, and this is what they have told us. Quote, "The death of a guest traveling on the Carnival Horizon voyage that returned to Port Miami on Saturday morning, November 8th, is being investigated by the FBI. Since this is an ongoing matter under the jurisdiction of law enforcement, it is up to the FBI's Miami Public Affairs Office to provide further details. Our focus is on supporting the family of our guest." Now, Anna Kepner was beloved by many people in her hometown of Titusville, Florida. Her celebration of life is scheduled for Thursday, November 20th. That's this week. And according to FloridaToday.com, her body has been transported to a funeral home near where she lived in Titusville. It could still be several weeks, though, until we have the results of a final autopsy and toxicology tests and learn officially what her cause of death is. Now, friends at her high school continue to honor her life. Her car is parked in her senior parking spot, and it will be there the rest of the year as a reminder of a girl who had so much to give and who just went on a cruise with her family but lost her life. Joining us now to talk about the latest developments in.
Okay, I'm going to end the video right here because there's not much more he's telling us. I've already know more on the case because I'm close to it and I'm in the Facebook communities that talk about it, and I knew her. So I'm going to probably make a video myself about it and find a better video, and maybe one of some of the family members saying what they think happened, because this is just horrible. It's a horrible, another instance where we lose a beautiful soul. Just something, for what? I can't even say what the something is. There was no reason for it whatsoever. It was a loving family as far as I knew. It's just so sad. But thank you guys for watching this with me. It's truly, truly important to me. And look out for further videos about this case. I will be doing more of the Chris Watts and Nicole cases too. So stay tuned. Leave a like and subscribe, please, if you're not already. We have an awesome community, and I love everyone in my community. So see you tomorrow, guys.